Best writing I've ever heard. Too bad your handwriting's so bad. You never heard that. Literally, like, marked off 3 points for handwriting. Oh, all you say. Do that on that. Your head is fine. Oh, wait. I had number 1. Some blurs that had number 1 with theory 2. Or number 4. Wait, what? Was it the same thing? So I just shut them down. One of the strengths and weaknesses got to the character I like about his weaknesses.
Good morning, Santa Barbara High School. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. It'll grow back. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Remember today, last year,
Yeah, that's weird. Were they talking about how it's possible or how they have a kind of
tomorrow?
Did they talk about the other 2 ballots? With the Mark Hardy, it would be nice if you had time on your other walk, but I know it's not your fault, so it's not good. Yeah. issue or is it a problem?
Oh, what?
You can use it with my mom. All right, please take out your 7.2. Yeah.
Don't worry.
Well, excuse me. Most of my classes, usually when the bell rings, we get to this position. 3 minutes after. If you can please take out 8.2, I will stamp it. While you watch a preview about a water movie that I'm showing tonight, there's a lot of issues in the water unit, but this is one of the ones that's most important to me. Quick question. How many of you think that it would be okay to charge people for air that they breathe? How many of you think it's okay to charge people for water that they drink?
I think there's a certain amount that people should brain that have to use, like hot water, maybe you should charge.
Anybody else?
I think that makes sense. We're entitled to like a standard, maybe we can drinking water.
Yeah, but what if someone just drinks it?
Recreational. Well, I guess then it becomes like a water pleasure party.
What about like people who live in a place where there isn't an obvious supply of water? Like if you're going to live in Phoenix, you know that the baby Jesus is not going to endow you with rain from above.
Only for the
So
you go get it yourself.
You got to take the food to get it yourself. You got to take the food unless you go that yourself.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like you can control like the air for the water thing. You have to control how much air is going to breathe and like change your air.
What if you were able to drink out of the river, and I block the river and make a dam and make you pay for the water that's delivered out of the dam?
Like that.
I would be. Everyone knows I'm a smart guy. Yeah. Okay. Well, enough deep thoughts. I'll snap your 8.2. Check out this trailer. It's kind of heavy.
Most students don't think about where their water comes from. They just turn on the tap and expect it to be there. Those things are ended. Humans are changing the climate. We've already seen evidence of that. One of the most significant impacts of climate change is our water resources.
This notion that we'll have water forever is wrong. The world is running out of fresh water. In the last 10 years, major water companies from Europe have started taking advantage of pollution and scarcity. Who gets most of the attention about water?
Water privatization was forced on Bolivia by the World Bank.
Water is the most precious commodity for them in the world. It's blue gold.
Like they said, only before, water is not a property.
The water sector is going to grow 2 to 3 times the global economy over the next 20 years.
The market is immoral, and it's going to reach selling to those who can buy it and not to those who need it.
They're spending tens of millions of dollars to convince us that bottled water is better than tap water.
There is less than one person regulating the entire bottled water industry. People buying this stuff and no idea where it's coming from.
The company kept pumping during a season of drought.
But there's so much water, they're being sued in 5 states.
They kept pumping even that.
We're fighting these battles, the David and Goliath battles.
Water must be protected everywhere.
Water for survival on here. And that's the picture that people have to understand.
It's not a Democratic issue, and it's not a Republican issue. It's a people issue.
Without water, we have no society, we have no economy, we have no life.
People say that, well, water's a lot like air. You shouldn't charge for water. Well, okay. Watch what happens.
Luckily for you, okay. Look at this guy with his unconventional double-handed lobster grab. Very unconventional. Usually just go for one. The movie is at 6. You had a question for preposition in your English computer. Very well. Okay. I've done that. Tomorrow I will be absent. It boggles the mind. And in this unit we have a second movie, so you're not going to miss anything from me, because during the movie I would have been at my desk anyhow. Carl Sandwich will be your substitute, and he will probably start the movie like at the exact second that the period starts, and the first question that you're answering is like right. Like the movie starts with the first date in the timeline. For movie number 2, you're doing assignment 8.4, and 8.4 is a timeline. So you just write dates and then say why that's important. So please make sure you show up right at the beginning. The movie starts with that date, like the scene opens to the first date. I gotta warn you, tomorrow's movie is like kind of dense. A lot of times in my movie questions, I write the question like, what's important about Dallas? And then in the movie it'll be like, and then there's Dallas. So you're like, oh, time to look up. And they'll start talking and you write your answer. In the movie that comes tomorrow, a lot of times they're like, blah, 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 blah. And that was Dallas. And you're like, oh crap, I didn't catch what's important about Dallas because I just realized I was supposed to. So I'm warning you that tomorrow in the movie, because it's a timeline, they'll be like, there was this problem, and then this guy came in to solve the problem in 1977. So you're like, oh, 77, and you got to remember what happened before, not, you know what I'm saying? Like, narratively speaking, it's hard to tune out and then jump back. So just heads up on tomorrow's movie. It kind of requires that you be more engaged than you might otherwise. Any questions about the plan tomorrow? Friday is next week. You got to bring me the pre-lab for the paper you just grabbed on your way in. That is the dissolved oxygen lab. If you don't have the paper, you should grab it right away. And by the way, you suck at life, and I hate